glass. The final frontier. Yeah. When everybody talks about Sony full frame, they talk about really great glass. Really great glass, which some may argue this is. Some may argue it's not. But it's certainly big. You know? But they talk about that, and then they say, well, look at the Sony camera. Look at the APS-C cameras. They've got this little piddly 16 to 50 on there. Slow as heck. 3.5 to 5.6. You know, and there's other lenses that are even slower. Yeah, glass matters. Glass to a camera is like speakers to a stereo system. If you don't have, you know, great glass, then you can't have a great picture. You can't. But you can have a good picture with good glass, right? And just because you have great glass, however, doesn't mean you're going to get a great picture. But you can. You have the possibility. So people buy a huge camera like this with great glass. Okay, now I can take great pictures. Well, you could take great pictures if you've got the right scene and the right subject and the right lighting and the right composition and all the other aspects, including knowing how to use the darn thing. Yeah, then you could take a great picture. Will you? I don't know. But you can spend a lot of money to play around to find out. Same thing is true with this. Okay, this is not great glass, but it's good glass, especially for the size and the price. It's really hard to beat. You know, you got something else like this 18 to 135. Good for the price and also for the use model, which is the use case here is for travel. So I can take one lens and I have all the focal lengths I need. Other lenses like this 50 mil 1.8. People laugh about this lens. Oh, this lens, what a cheap piece of crap. It's not the best made lens, right? So if you're a pro, you probably shouldn't be depending upon this lens all the time. But it's actually quite sharp. 50 millimeter 1.8 APS-C lens is actually quite sharp. So, you know, there are some good lens choices. This is a 35 millimeter APS-C 1.8. Both this one and the 50 mil are optically stabilized, as well as the 135, you know, OSS, which is kind of nice on a body like this because there's no in-body stabilization. But the most important thing, I think, is you should put your money in the glass more and in the body less. I think everybody knows that. They all talk about it, but then when a new body comes out, everybody runs out and buys it. Everybody runs out and buys a new body. And when new glass comes out, they say, well, that glass is too expensive. It's too expensive. But the body, well, let's pay $2,000 for a body. That just amazes me. It really does. Because you'll pay $2,000 for a body. Now, this is kind of an exception because this body's actually got some legs because it's such a good design. But you're not really quite sure when you buy a new body. And also, that's a good one. A6000 lasted a long time. The price degradation curve's not too bad. But in general, this part of the camera does not hold its value. You're throwing money away because in 2 years it's going to be a piece of crap and you're going to want a new one. This part of the camera, not really this one, but the lens part of the camera. Lenses hold their value incredibly well. You can buy a lens. Let's hold up the 18 to 135 to be a little bit more fair. You can buy a lens today for X number of dollars and sell it 4 years from now, as long as the mount is still viable. You can sell it 4 years from now for 80 or even 90% of what you paid for it. And so why are you freaking out about the price of a lens? Price of a lens is based upon many things: difficulty to manufacture, market size and value, as well as, you know, what the market will bear, what the competition is out there doing, what the manufacturer is trying to say. Like with this lens, they're making a halo statement. This lens is not the best lens for the money, for that amount of money, in my opinion. There are other better lenses, sharper, at least in the center, than this lens. But Sony's making a statement. They're making halo products. That's what G Master lenses are. Saying we've got the best overall lenses for these camera mounts. They're not making the same statement with a lens like this, okay? They had to cover a range and they put it out there. But, so it depends on a lot of things. But in general, lenses hold their value. As long as the mount remains viable, lenses hold their value. Much better than bodies.